Okay.
Okay, let's do it. Name is Casey, right? Hi, Casey. How are you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Well, good to meet you finally. Guess we've been around in this company just a few short months, but we bumped into each other for a few times in big meetings, but first time in person. So nice to meet you. I
Nice
know
to meet you
it's
too.
yeah, it's just after Thanksgiving in Canada. How was your Thanksgiving break? I know you were traveling somewhere, right?
Yeah, I was traveling to see family. It was good. It's just, stressful when you're traveling to see family.
Yeah, that was great.
You're happy to see,
Um,
you're happy to leave.
yeah, right. Yeah, we also took some time in mountains and didn't do much travel otherwise, but yeah, it was a lot of work actually over the weekend as well, negotiating some exciting deal that I want to share with you later on in this call. But anyway, the purpose of this meeting is to discuss WestJet's goals for 2016
Yeah.
and see how it aligns with marketing team's objectives and budget and make sure. I think in general that I understand. It was me being new to the company. I just want to make sure that I read the signals correctly and understand the
Mhm.
language and culture of the company. So would you mind sharing general vision, from your perspective, from your entire team, sort of what are the goals for 2016 and how do you see us fitting into it from a marketing perspective?
2016, the goal is pretty much to just increase revenue for the entire year. I mean, especially with our company being a low cost alternative, that can be a plus, but that can also have a bad reputation. So our goal is to increase revenue. Our funds that we're at right now, our budget is pretty strict and set in stone. Don't know um how much we have left in the budget. There could be some potential, but it's pretty much set straight in stone.
Yeah, no, makes sense. Absolutely. And no, I hear you. And that's probably what I expected to hear without us being a budget airline. I think that's all expected, but also interesting that with tight budget, we still expect to increase some revenues. Point well taken, and it's a kind of challenging thing to balance. So look, I appreciate that overview and feedback. But look, as you know, I've been thinking about our plan for next year for some time, ever since I joined, right? And you've stolen me from our main competitor from Air Canada for a reason, right? I
Mhm.
guess I'm assuming you wanted to change something in our marketing approach. And I don't know if you know or not, but I spent over 20 years in marketing for airlines, Virgin Atlantic, and more recently was our main competitor, Air Canada. So sort of have seen a few things happening over the last couple of decades, especially with social media. And you would remember this since you joined the company, probably like in early 2000s. So what Facebook did and Google did to marketing and completely changing approach. So I feel like the same thing is happening now with these new platforms, Pinterest and Snapchat, changing the way people are communicating, especially with Gen Z. Um, so I feel like this will be, this 2000 Facebook and Google moment again. And honestly, things are changing so fast that we really needed to solicit advice from external experts. I did work with this, great marketing agency back in Air Canada, and I worked with them previously also at Virgin Global, so really top experts in marketing, especially digital marketing, right? And they did they did some analysis for us on this. So what they came up is that these new platforms have like 10 times more engagement than Facebook and Google, which is sort of the baseline right now for the industry. But since they are just getting into this market, right, they are eager to do things differently, right? So, um, and really, what's analysis is saying is that it promises, if you do things right, it promises to increase potentially that one campaign on two platforms can increase our revenue next year by 10%. So really, it will be nothing like we've seen before, and really competing on Facebook and Google is quite challenging. Air Canada, it's a very big budget, right? So I think it will be way more cost competitive for us to really try to work with these guys. We did try to do some sound in the industry, and what we've heard that Air Canada is actually thinking about this as well. So it looks like there are some pretty advanced negotiations happening between Snapchat and Pinterest and Air Canada's marketing team. I asked our manager of social media to go and talk to these platforms directly now and just see what they can offer, and if this is true that they are what they're doing with Air Canada. And the response was that's indeed that's what's happening, but they're not super happy with Air Canada's negotiation style. So pretty they're trying to drive sort of their own terms. But basically what Snapchat and Pinterest are trying to do. So they have relatively new platforms, and they don't really want to scare users with kind of large ad campaigns, right? So they want to really focus on embedded marketing, and really work with influencers and just sort of do marketing almost sort of invisibly, right? So what they're offering is exclusive deals for several industries for the next year. And that's what Air Canada is negotiating for airline industry, right? So, and the deal with Air Canada is in an order of like $1 million per year of marketing budget for these two platforms. But as I said, they sort of don't like, Air Canada style. So what our team was able to negotiate is 80% discount if we do things the way Snapchat and Pinterest wants them to have implemented. And what we get for that deal is exclusive rights for marketing on their platforms in Canada, in airline space. And so, basically no other airline that flies to Canada, Air Canada, whoever, next year, nobody else will be on this platform except us. So really unique deal. But considering, they are putting, they're not really able to put things on pause for too long with Air Canada, right? It's very active negotiation. So they gave us a week to make that decision. So basically, considering our approval cycle, and the fact that we need to do a bunch of legal negotiations, we basically need to make a decision right now. And so the deal is, instead of $1 million that they're offering to Air Canada, if you do things, run that campaign the way they're offering, it will be only $200K for the entire 2016 for those two platforms. I know we don't have this in our budget, and you did mention that the budget is tight, but it might be, once in a lifetime opportunity for us. So, we might regret forever, and it might be much more expensive for us to catch up if it was this moment. So anyway, just wanted to share this immediately with you because things developed very quickly over Thanksgiving weekend, and just want to make sure you know about this, and we can action. If you like this idea, we can action right now. So yeah, anyway, basically the summary is just we need to increase our budget for by $200K, and that decision is sort of has to be happening like on this call. What do you think?
So you're asking me for a $200,000 increase.
Yeah, for next year.
Do you foresee? Sorry.
Go ahead. Yeah, it doesn't like we don't pay immediately, right? It's just we need to make a decision and sign a contract now, but actual payments will be happening all next year. So no stress on budget on the cash side.
Do you foresee using these platforms to help with our customer incentive programs?
Yeah, absolutely. And what we've seen on these platforms is that these platforms are not for everyone, right? So what specifically we see is like it's a good fit for Gen Z, and these guys are not, they're just getting into this travel market, and they prefer driving probably most of the time, right? Low cost stuff. But what we expect is that once they engage on this platform, they will be staying on this platform. They will learn about us from this platform, and it will definitely create lasting relationship.
Hey, sounds like a good deal.
Oh, thank you. What's your name? Casey.
See,
All right, I guess we're done.
with yours, yes.
Okay,
I'm CSO now, right?
That was really
so
good, by the way.
yeah, that was good.
Made a bunch of stuff.
I wasn't like trying to like trick you or anything. I was just trying to give you more opportunities for points.
I was just making things up on the fly.
That's kind of what I think we have to be doing.
I'm just finishing up this grading sheet.
Are y'all
Wait,
just
on
highlighting?
the grading sheet, like the points in between, like, is it just go like from like 1.5, 1.6, 1.7? You see what I'm saying? Like,
You could probably just highlight the actual number.
because I was
Yeah,
like,
that's what I did.
Yeah, I think
okay.
Let me see.
you help me there, okay? I promise.
Okay, just let me know when y'all are ready, because I'm ready when you guys are.
Okay, wait. So who's going next? And
It's Aiyanna, and
Yeah,
I'm the CSO.
yeah. Roman, if you want a break, it's okay. I know you
No, I
just.
don't need a break. I thought people are just preparing their evaluation sheets now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I finished mine though.
Okay, well, let's go. I'm ready.
okay.
Okay, do you guys have your next evaluation sheets ready? Okay,
Yes.
okay. Okay, ready, Roman?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Hi, Casey. How are you?
Yeah, doing great. How are you doing?
Awesome. I'm good. So I just wanted to meet with you today mainly because of the purpose regarding an increased budget for our current social media campaign. Um, I know with a busy cost-cutting season, there's just a lot of work on our plates, despite our focus on the bottom line of the organization. Um, so I just wanted to ask first, before we get into it, what types of solutions have you and the rest of the team come up with thus far regarding which areas will be having budget cuts?
Guess we didn't really start with budget cuts, really. We're just trying to maintain the same budget as we had in 2015, right? If there's no increase, it's already a good result. So that's the baseline for now. So yeah, if
Okay.
you're able to maintain the budget as it was in 2015, it will be great.
Right. Yeah, I just want to know your objective going into the next fiscal year, especially with me just coming to you um, about requesting a budget increase for our new social media campaign, which will include adding Snapchat and Pinterest to our organization's online social media profile. So, again, with our focus, I know that we're mainly focused on profit. And the overall revenue of the organization, because especially just in the airline industry, it can really be up and down, especially with other competitors having somewhat of a competitive advantage ahead of us due to their online social media presence. And so to achieve this, I personally think that we need to increase repeat purchases, reduce price sensitivity, and also improve customer retention. And so with regard to facing these problems, what solutions have you and the rest of the team come up with to resolve this competitive advantage that other airlines might have ahead of us?
Well, to be honest, we didn't think about this. I mean, I have other things except marketing. So yeah, I fully expected that you will bring some great ideas. So, and I know you've had a lot of experience in the industry. So
Yeah,
yeah, I guess we'll yeah, let us know. I mean, budget is tight, but yeah, let us know what you
yeah.
think.
Yeah, I mean, I've worked with JetBlue before, a year before this, and I know that in working with WestJet for the past year together, I think there's definitely some improvements that we can make regarding our online presence. So, with the expansion of social media platforms like Snapchat and Pinterest, I believe that this will drive performance goals and also allow us just to better compete with other major airlines such as Delta and United, who are also creating more of an online social media presence. So, again, this will only enhance online interaction, website traction, as well as marketing effectiveness. And I understand that the organization is experiencing some cost constraints, but that's exactly why this matters and that this is an issue that we need to face and also just have continuing discussions about. Um, so essentially what I'm asking for is your approval of a $1 million budget increase for our 2016 social media campaign. And I'm confident that this will not only strengthen customer relations, which I think is an important aspect, especially considering that we have over 48,000 customers every year. But we also need to create a positive impact on revenue and profits and just the overall bottom line. So, what next steps do you propose we take in granting this approval?
Increased by 1 million. That what I heard, or by 200K
No,
to
it'll
overall,
be
yeah, by
yeah,
100.
it'll
Yeah,
be
it's a lot
1
of money.
million.
Yeah, do you think that has to be 1 million? Can we still negotiate with them, or you're positive it has to be?
I think negotiations are doable. I think going into it, that we need to plan for a $1 million budget just because, just with continuing with the current approach may even just widen that gap that we're experiencing currently with other competitors, right? So if the strategy team is not willing to take a different route, which is increasing our budget by 1 million, then that is an outcome that might have to be considered. So what I am proposing is not to add more weight to our plates, but to close that gap and offer solutions for the
Okay.
future.
No, understood. Look, you're expert in this, so I'm prepared to follow your advice. I'll just maybe like 1 million is not what I expected. Just give me this night to sleep on this and just come back with a follow-up email in tomorrow, day after, and we'll get this done. But let me see what I
Yeah.
can do with this budget.
No, I completely understand. The only thing is just with it being a cost cutting season regarding budgeting, this is a decision that is going to have to be made today because things are up in the air. Decisions can be made tomorrow, or anything that happens tomorrow can impact, where our finances for the next fiscal year go towards. So I think this is a decision that really requires some urgency.
Yeah, good point. I forgot about that. So you know what? It's not a big deal. Let's go with that.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for your time.
I wasn't trying to give you a hard time. I
No,
was
you're
just
fine. No, I
I
think
was
it was
trying to steer
good.
you. I was trying to steer you. Hey, I think the case was talking about 200K.
Was it? Because
Yeah,
I
I think
thought
so.
it
No,
was.
it said asking for an increase. Okay, in like the body, it says 1 million, but
Yeah.
then
Up to
you're
1 million, yeah. So
it's
budget goes up to 1 million, but you're asking for 200K increase, right?
asking for 1 million to support a comprehend whatever.
Yeah.
But then it says convince. Maybe it's like you want to
Yeah, so
See,
budget, scientific budget was
try to like
800K and
negotiate to get to 200,000.
yeah, no, I think that was perfect, Roman. Like you like negotiating a lower budget and then me having to give reasons as to why we actually might need a higher budget. Like I think that was good because I think it ultimately is up to the discretion of the seller, right? So I think that's where it gives you opportunities to include in other persuasive points.
as long as you felt comfortable with that
Yeah,
discussion,
no, you did
okay.
great. Thank you.
Guys, this meeting ends at 8.
Okay, then I guess I'll send the next one.
Okay, yeah,
Okay,
that's
so
perfect. We'll just do two and
Two
two.
and two. Yeah, okay, I'll
okay,
send
I'm
the
gonna
next one.
stop this recording.